Capricorn in the sun position, and the sun position is going to talk about who you are this month. It's going to, tell us about where things are focused, your vitality, your success, your joy, all things sun related. The sun is the light, it's bright, it's generally considered to be positive, even though the sun can burn things up. But let's see what we got in the sun position. Oh, Capricorn, we've got the Two of Cups. Two of Cups in the sun position. We just had a full moon lunar eclipse in Leo, which is about, the moon is about emotions. It's about personal relationships. And in the sign of Leo, Leo is certainly about love, admiration, joy. It looks like, Capricorn, if you weren't open to it initially, it looks like you are opening yourself up this month to invite in relationships, as some sort of relationship, a close personal relationship. More than likely, it is a romantic relationship. I'm feeling like, Capricorn, you may have seemed closed off probably to somebody, but I think this month, and how appropriate is Valentine's Day. Maybe you're gonna have a great Valentine's Day. Maybe you hook up with your loved one and things go well, because you seem to have that energy of love and connection with you today. So in the moon position, which talks about your personal relationships, it talks about your emotions, personal, private things, what goes on, in your private life. It talks about your dream world, your subconscious, your fantasies, the maternal figures in your life. Okay, we've got the Page of Swords. So, Capricorn, maybe you are dealing with somebody in your personal relationship who is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. The moon is in Libra right now, and Libra moons, I call it the hookup moon, is about love. And what I'm figuring, with this Page of Swords, I wonder if this is somebody who you are dealing with in your personal life, Capricorn, who is finally ready to say something to you, who's finally ready to express something to you. They may have been thinking about it for a minute, and now that you are giving off this energy, that you are open and possibly ready to receive some sort of conversation or some sort of expression from another person. I think this Page of Swords is somebody that may be ready to say something to you, somebody that you either already have a close personal relationship with, or that you may be getting ready to, you may be working on. This may be leading someplace. In the Mercury position, we got the Palace of Cups reversed. Now, the palaces show up in Serial Marchetti's decks. I don't think the palaces occur, or I don't think the palace cards are in any of the other decks. I do think this is unique to Mr. Marchetti or Marchetti. I just want to be sure I'm pronouncing that right. And the palaces are about the ultimate places of being, and cups being about love and spirituality and creativity and psychic ability, all that watery stuff, the moon. This could also be about a place. And, when we talk about water, I think we talk about the home. This could be, like I say all the time, beachfront property. Somebody could have been trying to take a trip maybe to the lake or something like that. But with this palace card reversed, if some of you were in fact talking about going on some sort of trip, some sort of getaway, or if there was something that was going on that was going to take place by the water, um, uh, for whatever reason, I don't think that that happens, or it doesn't happen in the way that you expected it to, the way that you hoped it would. I think that for those of you who do still go on this trip, for those of you that are going on trips, there's still going to be something that's left to be desired. Um, on the other hand, I feel like for some of you Capricorns, I was talking about this Page of Swords who may be ready to say something to you. Um, and I think with this Palace of Cups reversed is I feel like it's some stuff that somebody has been holding inside, some sort of unexpressed emotion or feeling. Now, whether or not that is going to be considered positive or not, I don't want to say for sure, but I feel like this is more of a holding back, because if I hadn't said already, the Mercury position is about how we communicate. It's about social media. It's about, any sort of dialogue, thought. This can also, the Mercury rules short distance travels. It rules siblings and childhood friends and things like that. So for some of you Capricorns, this could be a situation where you may be finding out that maybe somebody that's maybe considerably younger than you too, Capricorn, somebody from your past maybe, had been holding back, maybe has been wanting to hook up with you, to, and I don't mean just hook up in a physical sense, but wanting to try to get into some sort of relationship with you. And I feel like either you or this person, but I'm feeling like it's more of this person. Um, or no, maybe it was you, Capricorn, because, with this being the Page of Swords, swords are air signs, like I said, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and they don't hold back in their expression. But a Capricorn will. A Capricorn will not express themselves as quickly as an air sign. And I have a personal relationship with somebody who has a Capricorn moon. And I've been, wow, it's a very intimate relationship, and I've been knowing this person for 20 years, and I can honestly say that I don't feel like that I really started to get to know anything about this Capricorn moon, for real, until the last 3 years. And I'm a Scorpio moon, so it's not like I'm giving up the information all freely. But I mean, I feel like he was really, really, really very, very it was a long time coming for me to know things about this person that I feel like I should have known years ago. So Capricorn, if somebody is holding back some sort of information, it could be you. Okay, so now in the Venus position, we're going to talk about what you're attracted to, how you prefer to receive love. This could talk about your money. This could talk about your spouse, your significant other, your creative expression. Okay, we got the Ace of Wands reversed. So again, I'm feeling like somebody has been holding back. I feel like there has been some really pent up desire in somebody. And Capricorn, I gotta say again, I kind of feel like I feel like it's you, Capricorn, that may have been holding back some information on how you feel, but I feel like it is the Page of Swords who may have been holding back some sort of action, some sort of desire. Maybe they had been wanting to make some sort of move, but were really even afraid to say something to you. The Ace of Wands is, talking about something that's not quite ready to manifest um, energetically, in an energetic manner, some sort of action, some sort of move, some sort of endeavor. This is also a phallic symbol. For some of you Capricorns, maybe there is a need if you are already in a relationship with somebody. There may be a need to discuss why there is no sex happening, or why maybe the intimacy is not all that somebody needs it to be, which is, could be why this Palace of Cups is in reverse. There may need to be some conversations that need to be approached, some very private, intimate conversations, in order to release this passion, because I do feel like this is something that's being held back. But the good news is, like I said, Capricorn, you are in a place right now where you are open to discussion. You are open to new emotions. You are open to exploring, I feel like, what another person has to offer. You're open to what another person has to say. You may be open to how another person feels, where you may not have been open to that before. And I do feel, Capricorn, like somebody is going to come to you and tell you some things. Capricorn, I feel like the things that they may tell you may actually hurt your feelings a little bit. They're not trying to be mean by any means. I feel like whoever this is that you may be having this discussion with is somebody who feels for you quite deeply. But they've been holding back. And I think it is because maybe you have seemed unapproachable, Capricorn, but something's going to happen. And it may be happening like today, honestly, that there's a conversation that's going to be had around how this person feels, around how you feel too. Because I do feel like it's you who's been holding back, like I said, on the emotion. I don't feel like this air sign person is necessarily one to hold back. But you know what? I do feel like this air sign person, and it doesn't have to be, but I do feel like they have some things to say more than what they've said already. And I think it's some things, like I said, that might surprise you. The words can sting a little bit, but what I think it stings not because they're saying mean things like um you know I just don't like you, or your hair is crooked, not that kind of thing. I think you find out some things like they may tell you, well, we always go to Burger King, and I really don't like Whoppers, but I've always done that with you because that's just kind of how I felt about you. And then you're gonna be like, what, you don't like Whoppers? That I really think it's gonna be like that. I don't think that they're gonna say things that are personally insulting to you. I just think that you're gonna find out some things that you really weren't aware of, and I think you're gonna feel kind of it's kind of like, well, damn, if I knew that, I could have avoided um this not being all that it could be. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, damn, if I just had known. But I feel like they are feeling like too that you are somewhat unapproachable. Okay, so I'm not gonna beat that dead horse. In the Mars position, and Mars talks about our desires, it talks about our actions. Okay, it talks about our did I say desires, actions, um I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But we've got the Empress reversed, and she's a major arcana. Okay. Again, I'm feeling like somebody within this union, or somebody who's trying to make this union happen, has been feeling like they couldn't make it manifest. Something's being held back. And like for some of you, this could be sex. This is like the okay. Another thing I see too is some of you Capricorns may be in a relationship with somebody where maybe you guys were trying to get pregnant and that hasn't happened for you yet. But and this is going to be for a small portion of you, but I think that you might find out some news that says, "Hey, we have some ideas. We know some things that we could possibly try to up your chances on this pregnancy happening." But I feel like up until this point, whether that is you or your partner, I feel like for a small portion of you, some of you have been trying to get pregnant and it hadn't worked out, like I said, up to this point. And maybe you find out something today that either is really good news. Some of you could even find out that you are in the very early stages of pregnancy. Now, on the other hand, I feel like something's going on with somebody, whether it is known outwardly or not. And this is the Empress. I just want to show it to you upright. Somebody could be being holding back some. Somebody could be like jealous, um, feeling really possessive, but trying to hold it back, trying not to let the other person know, try not to act out on the green-eyed monster energy. Hmm. Okay, now Venus is about to go retrograde too next month. This is and Venus and Mars are together right now in Aries. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, and we're in the Mars position, which rules Aries, and Mars is in its oh goodness. Mars is in its own sign right now. Venus is also there with Mars getting ready to go retrograde. How interesting. So, Capricorns, there really could be some going back to some things, maybe trying to figure out why it didn't work. Maybe this is some of you Capricorns actually going backwards rather than a new relationship trying to start. This might be some of you some of you Capricorns going backwards and getting with somebody that you've been with, but I'm feeling like for some reason you all haven't been together lately. And maybe Capricorn, you're feeling like you're losing this person. But you, whatever it is, Capricorn, that you may have been feeling like you were doing wrong, it's like, okay, I feel like you want to go to that person and say, look, I'm not about that life. I'm sorry. I'm ready to love. I'm ready to be in this. And I still think that you are going to hear some things, or you're going to get some new information that is going to surprise you. For those of you who may be returning to a situation, a previous relationship, and it may not be that this relationship has actually, it may not be that you all like broke up or something like that. It just could be that the loving, sweet pea communication has not been there. You may not have heard from this person at all, and you may be wondering what's going on. But I'm kind of feeling like this person, or whether this is somebody that you're hooking up with or somebody that you may be going back to, the breakdown, I feel like it's because somebody may have felt like you were unapproachable, and you're here this month to let them know that that's not true. You are very approachable. You are very willing. You so do want to make this right. And I don't, Capricorn, is this you? That is, I know you probably say, well, hell, you should be telling us. But Capricorn, is this you who is, kind of feeling maybe some jealousy, some possessiveness? I'm almost feeling like somebody wants to really go to somebody and say, look here, if we don't fix this, I'm really just gonna choke you up. And I wouldn't suggest doing that at all. But I kind of feel like this is really some, if this is not dealt with properly, this energy could certainly come out as being demanding, possessive, obsessed with something. And I feel like somebody is really, really trying to hold that in. Okay, let's move on. Okay. In the Jupiter position, and my friends, Jupiter is retrograde. We've got the Six of Coins reversed. Right. Okay. For some of you in a relationship, I feel like that this could be a non-even exchange of physical intimacy. Somebody's feeling like they're not getting what they wanted out of this. Think there are a lot of things that are going on under the surface for those of you that are already in a relationship. And for those of you who may be going back and revisiting something in a previous relationship, or maybe, where there's been a breakdown of communication, there's going to be some discussion around this, this physical back and forth. I feel like somebody, for those of you who are already in a relationship or that may be going back, I feel like somebody feels like the other person is not making much of a sacrifice for them. It's like, I really, really go out of my way to please you, to do what you want. It's like I said earlier, you might be finding out that this person, you guys go to Burger King all the time, and you find out that they don't like Whoppers. And all along, they've been kind of, or this could be you, but somebody's been kind of just holding that in and just taking it. And now they've gotten to a point where they don't feel like it's fair. And I feel like there could be some sort of anger, actually, that may be building up, some kind of pent back, some kind of pent up aggression. And it has prevented the two of you from creating this ultimate place of mushiness, for lack of a better word. Now, the other thing, Capricorn, is where your money is concerned. I think with Venus and Jupiter going retrograde, I think that there are going to be some temporary delays, where things you may have been making money hand over fist, Capricorn, but there's going to be some slowdowns. Okay. while Jupiter and Venus are in retrograde. You may find yourself having to put out more than you are getting in. And this may be because some of you may actually not be physically able, or maybe some of you may be losing the desire, the passion for your job. Some of you, with this full moon Leo lunar eclipse that we've had, there may be some sort of creative opportunity, maybe that you've been working with, that is no longer available, and maybe it's affecting your money some sort of way. But I think that this is temporary while like I said, Venus and Jupiter is retrograding, because Jupiter is still blessing you. Jupiter is not going to let you sink. I think what it is more than anything, Capricorn, is like there's just going to be what you kind of feel like is not setbacks, but just a decline in your earnings. And I do feel like for some of you, I feel like some of you may have some sort of contracting um jobs, where maybe you I don't know, you renovate homes or something like that. And right now things are slow, but I feel like that's temporary, Capricorn. And I know that's all over the place, but I did see that too, so I wanted to mention it. So let's move on. In the Saturn position, and Saturn talks about Saturn rules time, Chronos. Saturn is about making us responsible adults. Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn makes us work. Um, I apologize. Saturn can also be about obstacles, restrictions. Let's see what's going on. Okay. We've got the King of Cups in the Saturn position. Okay. With the King of Cups, I we're talking about somebody who has, I love the King of Cups personally. We talk about somebody who has stood the test of time, really, when it comes to relationships, their feelings, their emotions. Capricorn, I'm feeling like if you are dealing with the King of Cups, this may be somebody who comes in and kind of helps. They may help you um, get a handle on these things that may be going on around you. They may be helping you get a handle on how to process some of the things that you may be finding out in relationships I mean, and as it pertains to your relationships, or maybe your job, the money that you're earning. This King of Cups, possibly Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I feel like this is an older male. If this is not you, Capricorn, if this is not energies that you're projecting out into the world, I feel like that this is somebody that, this could be a boss. And, if you are, for those of you Capricorns who might be dealing with temporary declines in income, or maybe opportunities that have gone away, this King of Cups, I really think is somebody, even if this is your boss, I think this is somebody who is there to help you through this. This is somebody who does have your best interest at heart. And I feel like this is where it comes to work, Capricorn. In love, the only thing I seem to be picking up with the King of Cups as it pertains to love, as we've been talking about all through this, is that this is you. You could have Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces on the rising or the moon, or you have heavy water in your chart. But I kind of feel like this is all of these things that are going on with you right now is another, it has been another learning experience for you. And it's adding to the person that you are emotionally. And you're going to win. At the end of it all, let me pull this outcome card real quick. Yes, you're going to win. Just like man, please with this. You got the 7 of Coins. Capricorn, whatever it is that you need to do to turn your relationship around, to get your money back right, for those of you who may be going back trying to fix some sort of relationship, the end result is the 7 of Coins. And this is saying to me that you know that there's work to be put into whatever this is. And Capricorn, you're not afraid to do it. Work is something you're not afraid of. You don't expect some immediate payout, but you are open and ready to face new emotions, new feelings. You are open to other people's feelings, to other people's offerings of relationships where you may have been closed off before. And I feel like if this King of Cups is you, this is, you, like I said, adding these experiences to your repertoire of lessons learned. I feel like this is you, in a sense, if this is you dealing with relationships, showing this person that you may be trying to get with, or maybe going back to, that you have matured emotionally, you are ready to commit, possibly where you may have been closed off before, and that you're willing to put the work in to do it. And Capricorn, it certainly pays off for you.